Never met before. I am Dom. This is your hour yoga flow. Let's just sort of crack on into it, and I'll tell you your housekeeping as we go. Props that you may need, should you choose, are maybe a blanket if you would like something to help prop yourself up on. I always recommend keeping one close by. It's also nice to help protect the knees. So I'm just going to fold up my blanket here and come to a cross-legged seat. There might be a shape that feels more comfortable to you, and feel free to pop yourself into that shape. Taking, when you're ready, a nice big breath in through the nose. Exhale, sigh it out. Let's do that. Pardon me again. Inhaling in through the nose. Exhaling it out. And so as we move and breathe here, inhaling in. Exhaling out. I'm just going to chat a little bit of housekeeping with you. So the way that I like to structure classes is sort of a choose your own adventure. So as we go along, there might be things that feel fabulous in your body. Keep breathing in, keep breathing out. There might be things that feel south of fabulous for your body, in which case really everything is a blueprint and an offering, and we're just looking to find what feels the best for you today. And that's kind of the fun thing about connecting in this way, is that you can absolutely freestyle without having to worry about being in unison with anybody else. It's kind of fun to practice that way. Inhaling in and out. That being said, if there is anything that I cue that you're sort of waiting to hear and you haven't heard it yet, feel free to jump into that. Really letting your practice be a practice that's imperfectly perfect for you. When you're ready, we're going to take our hands in front of us, interlace your fingers if that feels okay, flip your palms away. We're going to take a nice big breath in, pushing up towards the ceiling. Then as we exhale, we're going to round and reach the arms forward. All the way down to the floor. Inhale. Reach up, push that ceiling away. Exhale, round it forward. 2 more. Inhale, reach up, push away. Exhale to round it forward. 1 more time. Inhaling it up. Exhaling to round. Let's stay in that forward space. Can we maybe walk our hands a little bit further along so we bring ourselves into a deeper forward fold shape? Feeling that curvature of the spine behind us. Maybe give your head a little shakety shake. And then walking those hands all the way up, taking a little bit of an unconventional type of a twist here. Let's start to walk our right hand over and around towards that left knee. Sitting up nice and tall, left hand maybe comes behind you, maybe it's up on a block or on your hip. So this part seems maybe fairly conventional, but we're going to take that left hand and scoot forward a little bit, that left hand now, and reach it up and bring it behind our head. Take a breath in as you breathe out. Can you keep your right hand to left knee? We're going to slide our torso as if your right shoulder and right knee want to touch. Inhale to bring it up. Stay in your twist. So we're sort of moving in this diagonal plane, right shoulder to right knee, but you're sideways. Inhale it up 2 more like that. Exhaling. 1 more time. Inhale it up. Side bend over. We're going to mix it up even more. Inhale up tall. As you side bend to the right, can you curl in on yourself? Inhale to reach back to sideways, and then bringing yourself back tall. So we go into that side bend over to the right. Then we turn in on ourselves. We open that arm back up to the ceiling, bring ourselves up tall. 1 more time. Side bend, right shoulder towards right knee. Flipping off the screen there. And from there, close the left elbow in. Opening that left elbow up. Bring yourself all the way back into that side bend. Little counter stretch of the right arm overhead. Left hand to the floor. Bringing yourself all the way up back to center, rolling through those shoulders. Let's go the other way. So walking the left hand around to that right knee, right hand behind your hip, sitting up nice and tall here, taking a few breaths to feel the spiral in the body and knowing that from side to side, there can be a huge variation in how we feel. And so just totally honoring that and not putting too much pressure on our bodies to have to be identical side to side, because it's never going to happen. So we might as well relieve that pressure right now. Taking your breaths in, breath out. Now, when you're ready, that right arm is going to come behind your head this time. So we start with that little side bend. Left hand staying wherever it can on that right thigh. We're going to I'm a little teapot ourselves over as if the left shoulder and left knee want to chat or touch, and then bring yourself up. Nice stretch through that right QL here, all the way down. And then all the way up. 2 more. So the whole entire time that you're taking this side bend, you're trying to spiral your chest more around and up, bringing your torso upright. 1 more time. Side bending it over, bringing it up. We're going to add the twist. So we're sitting tall. Side bend the left shoulder towards your left knee, then turn in on yourself. So now it's like the right elbow and the left knee want to touch, unravel, come all the way up. Side bending over to the left, turning in on yourself, opening it up, coming all the way up. 1 more time. Side bend it over. Oh, feels so good already. Opening out. And all the way up, releasing. Maybe place the right hand down, taking a side bend overhead. Bringing ourselves all the way up. Nice roll of the shoulders, whichever way your legs were crisscrossed. Can we crisscross them the other way? Let's do that arm thing again. So as we inhale, the palms push up towards the ceiling. Lift the rib cage, lift the shoulders. As you breathe out, scoop in round and hollow away. Inhaling it up. Now you'll notice that I don't have any music playing in our practice today. It's primarily because we're online, so for copyright purposes. So if you'd like to toss on some music, there's some fabulous playlists on Spotify. Round it away. 1 more time. Inhale to push up to the ceiling. As we breathe out, round and bring it forward. Breathing in and out here. Just noticing how that torso starts to fold forward. And using those hands to walk yourself all the way up. Nice roll of those shoulders. Beautiful work. Okay, I'm going to slide this blanket out from underneath myself. Just pop it over to the side. We're going to stay sort of popped up. If you're comfortable and happy sitting, leaning back on your shoulders a little bit. It's kind of a nice way to sort of warm up what's happening there. Let's take that right leg, give that right ankle, right hamstring a bit of a shake, and then cross that right ankle over the left knee. Giving yourself a little teeter-totter rock. Oh, feels good. Side to side. Ooh, as we warm up, what's happening here? Side to side. Oh, you can kind of feel. I went for a really long bike ride yesterday. And it's funny, like if you had the opportunity to ride bikes as a kid, it sort of felt like no big deal. Now in my adult life, it's like, oh yeah, no big deal. Keep teeter-tottering, keep teeter-tottering, keep teeter-tottering. We're going to shimmy the front foot, the left foot forward a little bit. And we're going to start to walk ourselves up. And as we walk ourselves up, we're going to close that thigh. And then maybe that doesn't happen. Yeah, maybe it's absolutely no way. In which case, if we can grab things to bring our tailbone up a little bit higher, our pelvis up a little bit higher. So my right foot is stacked over that left knee. Right knee is stacked over left. Taking a breath in to be nice and tall. And then as we breathe out, let's take that forward fold again. Now I'd like to create resistance always. So the legs are pressing down into each other. We're not sort of resting here. Pressing the thighs back, pressing the feet down in, and then lengthening that spine out. Just sort of adds another layer to this. And we might as well add a twist, no? So plant that left hand on the floor, reach that right arm up overhead. Oof. And then we're going to thread that right arm under. Inhale. Now, if sitting with your legs stacked like this doesn't work, please feel free to go back to your crisscross applesauce. Exhale to thread it through. It's really, truly what feels good for you. One more time. Inhale to reach up. Exhaling under. Walking those hands back to center, walking ourselves up. Let's unravel the legs. Let's give them a bit of a shakety shake. So for sure, knowing that things that look a certain way in my body are not going to look the same across the board. And so when you're ready, maybe that left ankle comes up overhead, and maybe coming up and forward is not at all what your body wants. Maybe you would much prefer going backwards. So knowing that coming onto your back and drawing in is always, always an option, yeah? If that feels more reasonable in your body. Left ankle over the right knee. Little rock side to side. That bike ride, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it in my legs. Oh, yeah. If you have tune-up balls or massage balls at home, and by massage balls, I don't mean tennis balls or golf balls or anything like that, like actual for your body massage balls, you can always pop one underneath your hip here. Goddess have mercy, is that ever exciting? Now we're going to take that right foot and start to scoot it forward, start to scoot it over to the left so that as we come up, maybe we can just sort of fold those legs down. If this doesn't feel fabulous, you can always cross leg. And remember, you're welcome to lift the floor up to you as much as need be, yeah? I definitely have something under here for myself. Once you've sort of established whatever leg position or even on your back, if you're upright, you're going to walk yourself forward. Breathing in and out. Inhaling to be here. Whew. And exhaling. So again, I try not to sit too much in stretchy type shapes. I have my own issues with the word stretch, but I won't bore you with them today. So we're pressing the feet and the thighs in towards each other. We're hugging those thighs back. And then we're trying to go for a nice lengthened spine here. You don't have to go far to feel how exciting it is. And if it feels reasonable, maybe adding a twist so that right hand will walk towards center. Inhale, left arm comes up overhead. As you exhale, thread the left arm under and through. Inhale, left arm reaches up. Exhaling to thread it through. Ooh. One more time. Inhale it up. Exhale, thread it through. When you're ready, placing those hands down, walking ourselves up. Big roll of the shoulder here. Releasing the shape of those legs, planting those feet on the floor. We're going to just super nice and calm bring ourselves down onto our backs here. We're going to go for a bit of a bound pose because nudge, nudge, wink, wink. We're going to see it when we come to standing. So keeping your pelvis nice and level. Let's take that right leg up overhead. Give that right ankle a little bit of a shake. That right leg a little bit of a shake. Take that right ankle up and cross the right ankle over your left knee. And we're going to, right knee over left knee, not your ankle, my bad. That's a different pose. So we're trying to squeeze our thighs together as much as we possibly can. Now, without using your hands, can you draw those legs in towards you? And what I would like you to feel for is that you can feel both sides of your pelvis here. We're going to lift those ankles and shins up, and we're going to try to open them wide. Lift them up and open them wide. Creating a bit of tension here. And then super duper calm again without using your hands. Can you see if you can wiggle your left hip up towards your left rib and then right hip up towards right rib? Just a little negotiation through the hips here. It's also sneaky, some ab work here for you, yeah? Good. Arms are totally out of the way, whatever that looks like for you. One more to each side, trying to level out that pelvis. And then pausing at center. We're going to release the shins, but we're going to keep the bound of the legs. And if your right ankle wraps around under the left, if that's in your practice, go for it. Arms are reaching up, so your right leg is on top, which means your right arm comes underneath. You can collect opposite shoulders, or you can find some bound arms here too. So they're going to mimic the same shape as your legs, connecting at the forearms and then the palms. Pushing away, take a breath in as you breathe out, curl everything in towards each other. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Inhale, gentle release back. See if you can still feel both sides of the pelvis. As you breathe out, scoop through your belly, curl up, squeeze, 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 squeeze. One more time. Inhale. inhaling it back. Exhale to squeeze, 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 squeeze. Lower your torso, release your arms, lower your legs, unravel them, and give your hips a little shake out. Other side. Can we guess where we're going with this when we come to standing? Okay. Left leg reaches up, give that ankle a little roll. You can shake it out, shake out the thigh. And then when you're ready, take that left thigh and slide it over the right. So you're nice and squeezy squeezed here. Without using your hands, again, scooping a little bit through that belly, we're going to lift the legs up. We're going to flex out through the feet, and then it's sort of like there's a little tug of war happening. Both of the ankles are trying to open wide. They're trying to also lift up, but like don't actually lift them up. They're just trying to stay parallel to the floor. And then without using hands, can you squeeze right hip towards right rib cage? Left hip towards left hip rib cage. Little slide up and squeeze. Slide up and squeeze. Whew. Working through your transversus abdominis here. Pardon me, and your obliques. One more to each side. Trying to find that level pelvis. Pause at center. You can drop through those shins, or again, finding a bound leg here, if that left ankle wraps all the way under, feel free. Arms reach up, left leg is on top, which means left arm comes under. You can collect opposite shoulders, or bring yourself to forearms and then hands connect. Take your breath in here as you breathe out. Nod your chin, curl up. Squeeze knees and thighs towards each other. Knees and elbows, I should say. Gently release back. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, scoop the belly, draw everything in. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Two more. Inhale to take it back. As you breathe out, hollow belly, curl up. Squeeze, squeeze. A little bit of shaking happening. One more time. Exhale to squeeze it up. Gently release down. Unravel arms, unravel legs. Give your legs a little shakety shake. However you would like to make your way up to the top of your mat. Hands are going to come underneath the shoulders. A little bit of circles here to get moving. So taking your body weight back in space, around to the right, and then forward, around to the left, back in space. Around to the right, forward, around to the left, and back. Round it up, massaging through those wrists. And when you're ready, taking it the other direction around to the left, pushing that floor away, rounding it back in space. Just sort of seeing how things are feeling down here. Deciding sort of how much body weight wants to maybe exist. One more time, around to the left, all the way around, pausing at center. Super pushing that floor away, tucking through your toes. Let's walk those knees back, find ourselves in a kneeling plank. So push that floor away, so much so that it feels like it's coming from underneath your armpits. Yeah, not from your pecs, it's from behind you. Those shoulder blades are trying to draw down your back. We're zipping the rib cage in, definitely firing through glutes. Hug the knees forward, hug the heels of the hands back. Take a breath in here. As you breathe out, slowly bend through those elbows, melting your chest to the floor. Inhale, upper body reaches up. Exhaling to bring it down. Two more. Inhale to lengthen out and up. Exhaling to bring it down. One more time. Inhale, upper body lifts. Pause there. Keep the toenails pressed down. Hollow through that belly. So you're trying to send your body weight to your pubic bone. Lift your hands to hover. Keep your chest hovered up. For 4. Now notice how I can speak freely. For 3, we're trying not to push anything into the floor. For 2, give myself a little cough there. Last one, plant the hands down. Now supercharge up through the belly, through the glutes, through the arms. Can you push up the way you came? And then tucking your toes. Maybe you lift back and find yourself in a downward dog. Maybe you find yourself in a child's pose. Maybe hands and knees. Maybe you're in a chair pose. Yeah, anything that feels reasonable to you. Pedaling out through those legs. Maybe swaying through the hips. Let's take 5 breaths here, please. Inhaling it in through the nose. All together, let's exhale mouth. Inhaling in. And exhaling out. Starting to maybe find a bit of an ujjayi breath if that's in your practice. That's the breath where you breathe in and out through your nose, sort of like you're blowing out through a straw. There's a bit of constriction there. Taking a pause with your final breath. Final breath here, not final breath forever. Can we all bend in the left knee, stretch out through that right heel? And then gently switch, bending through the right knee, stretching through the left. Just a little pedal out. We're going to move through a few flows here. So you keep pedaling. So know that the pace at which I'm moving might not be the pace that feels fabulous for you. I'm really just moving so that you have something to see while you're practicing as well. And maybe what your body really wants is a bit more stretching or a bit more standing than what I'll be offering through. So please feel free to customize as you're moving here, yeah? All right, here we go. Can we inhale, ripple forward into your plank, maybe dropping down to your knees, finding all those housekeeping points and then drawing your chest down to the floor. Flip your toenails, inhale to lengthen your spine out and up, watching for that pubic bone alignment. And then using the energy of your body, push yourself up and back, downward dog. Take a breath in here. Take a breath out. 4 more, breathing in. And out. Checking in. All those things you feel while you're in your plank, we want to feel here too with that torso. Last breath here, inhaling. Exhaling it out. Inhale, ripple forward. Find your plank. As we breathe out, drawing our chest to the floor. Maybe this time you lengthen out and up into your full cobra. Exhale up and back, downward dog. 3 breaths here. Inhaling in. Do we see the pattern? Exhaling out. Pushing that floor away, zipping into that ribs and belly. Breathe it in. Breathing out. One more time, breathing in. And out. Inhale, ripple forward, find your plank. Maybe dropping to those knees as we pull our chest through. Now, maybe you find the floor. Maybe you last minute change your mind to lift up. And we all arrive back, downward dog. 2 breaths, breathing in. And remember, downward dog really means anything. And out. Last one, inhaling in. Here we go, rippling forward, inhaling into that plank. Exhaling, lowering to the floor, whichever way feels good for you. Inhale to lengthen out and up. Exhale. Let's all push back, meet in a child's. Inhale in here, please. Exhaling it out. Now, if you'd like to head up into a downward dog, please feel free to do so. If you're super happy as you are, feel free to practice there. Whenever you're ready, that right leg is going to reach up in space. You could be on hands and knees too, yeah? And feel free to kind of like be a little less precious with it for today, because we're just going to pull the right leg through, place the right foot to the outside of the right hand. Popping down onto that left knee, let's wiggle the right foot forward a little bit. Let's wiggle it over to the right a little bit more, and then turn those right toes out. Hug the legs in towards each other, yeah? So the right heel is trying to drag back towards the pubic bone. Left knee is trying to drive forward. Reach that right arm up. Take a big stretch here. Now, if this feels fabulous and we feel the work, maybe peel off of the big toe so that leg turns out, but keep hugging it in. Huge hip stretch here. Breathe in. Breathe out. Getting those hips ready to work, yeah? Breathing in. Doing so good. Breathe it out. Plant that foot back down. Turn those toes to parallel, but keep the leg wide. Lift the left thigh up if you can. Find a real super hug in of the legs here, and then maybe that bottom arm floats up. Getting warmer, getting warmer. Breathing in. Breathing out. One more time, breathe in. As we breathe out, lower the hands, lower the back knee, stick your bum out, walk your hands back. Whew. Now a little bit of housekeeping here. We want to avoid the tail tucking underneath us. So let's think tons about lengthening out. And then just like we were practicing not sitting in our joints on the floor, we want to really hug the thigh back, fire up through that right quad, hug the back knee forward, lengthen through that spine, and your hamstrings are just going to feel so much enjoyment. So much enjoyment. We're going to get fancy. Are you ready? Bring your body weight forward. Place your hands on the floor. Now, it's not going to be cute, but can we start to scoot the right foot back so it's sort of like maybe a quarter, maybe a foot back from your hands. We're going to start to turn the torso out so that you're facing to the right, keeping those hips lifted. Now, maybe that back left leg comes up straight onto those left toes. Maybe you want to stack your right foot on top of your left. So we're finding a side plank here, yeah? Woo. Super push the floor away with the left hand along through that spine. Draw the rib cage in. Zip up through those glutes and thighs. Take one more breath in, and then wherever you are, slowly descend down to the floor, stepping back however you would like to into plank of your choice. Take a breath in here. As we breathe out, lowering to the floor however feels good for you. Inhale a back bend of your choice, and then sliding up and back into whatever your home base is going to be, right? Could be downward dog, could be a chair pose, could be hands and knees, could be a child's. When you're ready, that left leg is going to reach up in space. Maybe give it a little wiggle, and then we pull the left leg forward, place it to the outside of the left hand, yeah? Let's drop to that right knee. Let's wiggle the left foot a little bit further forward and a little bit wider, and then turn those left toes out to about 2 o'clock. 10 o'clock. Oh my gosh, 10 o'clock. There are two. They'd be facing way in. We want them to face out. Hug those legs in towards each other so you can feel your hamstring working here. Yeah, we don't want to just sit in it. And then maybe the right hand is on the floor. Maybe it's on a block. Back, bum, cheek squeezing. Find your rotation here. So again, getting those legs ready for some really intense twisting. Maybe it feels reasonable to roll to that pinky toe edge side of your foot so you get that little bit more external rotation here. Breathing in and out. Again, never sitting in the shape. We're constantly hugging those legs towards each other. When you're ready, placing the hand down, left hand to the inside of the left foot. Walk that foot back in and parallel. Can we take the left arm back up? Maybe zip up through that back thigh. Maybe we find a bit of a hover here, yeah? Breathing in. Twist and hover, turning those legs on. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. One more time, breathe in. As we breathe out, let's plant those hands down. Now that left foot is going to wiggle back a little bit if you can. Doesn't have to be graceful. We're going to turn the left toes towards the left. We're going to turn the right foot onto that pinky toe edge side of your foot. I'm going up into a plank right away on this side. So you're here. But you could be down, right? This might feel like a fabulous place for you. Lengthened up, might hip up, put the foot down, or 2 feet stacked. Draw the rib cage in, push that floor away. Glutes are on, long through that spine. Breathe it in. Breathing out, building that prana, that energy. One more time, breathe in, look down to the floor. As you breathe out, maybe we roll ourselves to our plank. When you're ready, flow if you'd like to. Breathe it in. As you breathe out, drawing that chest forward and down. Inhale to lengthen out, back bend of your choice. Exhale back to your home base. Big breath in through the nose here, please. Exhale it out through your mouth. We're going to lift our heels, bend our knees, and look forward. And on an empty stomach, empty breath, we're going to walk ourselves up to our hands. Can you walk those feet a little bit wider than you'd maybe usually? Oh, we forgot our hamstring stretch. Don't worry, we'll go back down. Walk ourselves down. Head little roll here. I'm like, whew, felt like it went really quickly on that side. Don't worry, we'll get it in again. Hamstrings. Bit of a massage here. All right. Let's step the left foot forward. Let's take that right leg down. Right knee to the floor. Stick your bum out. Bit of a hamstring here, yeah? So keep that left foot a little bit wider of your hands. Tail reaches back. And again, we're not sitting into our joints. We're trying to zip up through that quad, dig the heel into the floor, pull it back. Draw the right hip forward, lengthening through that spine, taking your breath in, taking your breath out. Feeling that energy build here. All right, let's walk those hands forward. Let's fire up through the back thigh and step it forward. Now we're even side to side. So your feet are wider than you maybe would usually have them. Bend your knees, maybe collect up at opposite elbows and draw your chest down in space. Breathing in and out, lengthening through that tail, and maybe just feeling the sides of the low back here. Watching to make sure it's not squishy through the shoulders and ears. Can we melt it to the floor? Place your hands down, walk your feet a little closer together, bend through your knees. Start to roll yourself all the way up. Inhaling at the top, arms reach up overhead, and exhaling it down. All right, let's give ourselves a little shakety shake here. Okay, we're gonna add some balancing to this. Some balancing and some hips. It's gonna feel exciting. So, standing on your mat, let's take that right leg out in front of us. Feel like I'm preparing for gymnastics. Right leg out in front of us. We're gonna flex through that right foot, lift it up, lift it up, lift it up. And push that right leg out as much as you can. Like you're trying to push something away from you, but that right hip hugs in, left hip is standing tall. Maybe you add some arms here for 2. For 1, turn the right leg out. So it's like you're turning it, key in a keyhole. Bend the knee, pull the right foot in. So the right knee is gonna stack on top, right ankle on top of that left knee. Pull your hands to your heart and sit your bum back. Hey, doesn't this look familiar? It's as if we've been here before. It's like I planned it. Draw the rib cage in, flexing through that right foot, and then just feeling how this balance feels here. Now, maybe you want to be near a wall, which I certainly am, and it definitely helps. Draw the rib cage in. And then the more you bend into that left knee, maybe the more you can collect the foot and the knee in your arm sockets, or maybe find the floor. Maybe that's not at all where your body wants to be, and you're happy as a clam up here. Breathing in. It's gonna get worse before it gets better, or exciting before it gets calm. Push your left foot into the floor. Don't put the right foot on the floor. Can you stand and kick the right leg away from you? And then like a teeter-totter, we're gonna teeter, 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 so that right leg reaches back in space. We're in our warrior 3 now. Long through that spine, draw the rib cage in, kick that foot away from you, leaning through your torso for 3, for 2, for 1, bend the left knee, place the right foot on the floor, but the toes are going to be turned out to face the long edge of your mat. Maybe wiggle that front foot forward, bending through that front knee. We're in our warrior 2. Ha! Sweet feet on the ground. Reaching those arms up. Now palms can be down, palms could be up, whatever feels nicest in your shoulder joints. A little bit of housekeeping here. So if you lift your heel, tuck your thigh backwards, and then place your foot down. Yeah, we want to make sure that knee isn't crossing in front of the big toe. It's turning out. Super zipped up through that back thigh. Arms are reaching, and we're breathing here. Breathe it in. Breathing it out. If you'd like to add a bit of a flow as you inhale, collect your arms, your energy, straighten your front leg, reach up to the ceiling. As you breathe out, push that prana down and away. As we open up warrior 2, inhale, collecting up, reaching up. Feel free to lift the rib cage here. Exhaling to push down and away. 2 more. Inhale it up. Exhale it down. 1 more time. Inhale to reach. And exhale down. Take a pause here. Let's keep the front knee bent. Let's place the left forearm on the left thigh. Circle that right arm out and around. Here we are. And that leg and that arm are trying to kind of mimic each other here. We're trying not to sit into a rib cage. We're really trying to lengthen out and up. Keep hugging those legs together. Keep turning that front thigh out. Keep zipping that back thigh. Watch the left shoulder doesn't get squishy to the left earlobe. And then use the energy of those legs to bring yourself all the way up. Keep your front knee bent as you windmill your arms back into your exalted warrior. And as we breathe out, let's windmill those hands down. If you would like to flow here, you're going to flow, step back into a plank, maybe straight into a downward dog, maybe a child's pose, maybe a chair pose. Take a breath in to get nice and long. As we breathe out, drawing down to the floor. When you're ready, inhale, find a back bend that feels reasonable in your body, and then we meet in your home base, whatever that looks like. Could be a downward dog, could be something else. Big breath in through your nose here, please, team. Exhale it out through your mouth. Draw the rib cage in, push that floor away, lengthening through your spine. As you inhale, lift your heels, bend your knees, look forward. And then as you breathe out, walking your feet up to meet your hands. Inhale, let's come up halfway, long spine here. Breathing to melt to the floor. Bend your knees, push your feet down. Roll your spine up, lengthen those arms. Oh, feels so good to be standing. And then bring them down. All that excitement second side. So getting nice and engines revved up. Right leg is going to be pushing into the floor. Left leg, nice and long, is going to sweep up and forward. Feel that left hip draw back. Feel that left thigh reach forward. Super zip through that left thigh. Maybe there's an arm reach here for you. For 30. Woo, strong and steady for 2. Last one. Now keep the leg where it is. You're going to turn that thigh in its hip socket. Start to bend the knee. Pull the right ankle towards the left knee. And start to sit down and back. Anyone else's heart's like, mine definitely is. Okay. Sitting our hips back in space here. So totally feeling what the stretch feels like on this second side. And remember, I'm sort of picky when it comes to the word stretching. So we're definitely not sitting here. We're feeling that left hip hugging back, right hip hugging forward. The more you bend in that right knee, the more stability you're hopefully going to find, but also a little bit more support and deepening of this experience. You can always come down so low that you scoop your knee and your ankle in your elbow sockets, or maybe even touch the floor. I am so happy up here. So this is where I'm going to live. 2 more breaths, yeah? Breathing it in. Breathing it out. Breathing it in. Breathing it out. All right, ready for spice factor number 2. So pushing that right leg to standing, lengthening that left leg out. And then like a pendulum, it swings back in space. Torso is going to tip forward, squaring off through those hips. We're strong and steady in this warrior 3. Whew. That bike ride yesterday catching up to me here. Hips are trying to fight to face the floor. We're here for 3. Keeping it humble, keeping it real. For 2. Last one, start to bend that left knee or right knee, start to place that left leg to the floor. Setting your feet up for warrior 2. On your second side, down on the ground. So a little bit of housekeeping here as well, right? We talked about the knee lining up over the middle of the foot. The back toes are trying to face forward to the long edge of the mat. And those hips are trying to open up. And we're trying not to sort of sit through our pelvis. We're really nice and on top of it. Arms can be out, palms down, or palms up. Just depends what feels best for you. Zipping up through that thigh here. Taking a breath in and out. If you'd like to add a little flow here, as we inhale, arms reach up. As we exhale, they open. Inhale, collect out and reach. Exhaling it out. 2 more. Inhale, reach out and open. Exhale. 1 more time. Collecting your energy, your prana, anything around you. Got some beautiful plant energy here. Let's keep the right knee bent. Let's bring the right elbow to the right top of the thigh. Circle that left arm around. Nice and long here, yeah? Like that leg and that arm are following each other. Try not to sit into that bottom shoulder, but rather lift up and out of it. Using the energy of the legs and that arm is going to come all the way up. Continue your journey back into that reverse warrior here. 1 more breath in as we breathe out, windmilling through those arms. Your choice if you would like to flow, if you would like to take a break. If you're flowing, I'm going to chat through. So inhale to get nice and long. As we breathe out, drawing ourselves to the floor. Inhale, flip your toes, back bend of your choice. As you breathe out, up and back into your home base. Could be downward dog, could be a totally different shape. Breathing in here, please, team. Breathing out. And remember, it's not a sitting shape. We're pushing that floor away, zipping into the rib cage, paddling out through those heels, lengthening long through that spine. Inhaling and exhaling here. We're going to lift our heels, bend our knees, look forward, gently walk ourselves up towards the top edge of the mat. Inhale to come up halfway. Exhale to melt it down, bending through the knees, pushing the feet through the floor. Ripple, roll, lengthen our spine all the way up. Exhale, hands down. Let's give it another little shake, shake, shake. All right. Second round of standing. So we've been really warming up through the outsides of our hips, yeah, and sort of twisting and turning our bodies. So a shape that we took on the floor, we're going to take here together, and I'm actually going to face you. I think that'll make it easier. Let's really root down on the left foot. Let's bring the right foot up to the right toes. We're going to squeeze the right knee up towards our chest. We're going to squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it. Hands are going to stay out of the way. Start to bend into the left knee, but don't tuck your bum underneath you, and slide the right thigh over the left. So they're stacked, they're squeezing. Now, maybe this right foot wraps all the way around. Maybe it feels happiest not. And the trick here is that if you have a straight leg, your right leg can't go anywhere, yeah? So you have to bend into that left leg as much as you can and sit back like you would in a chair. Now, those hands can stay at your hips. They can come towards heart center. Or if you'd like to, right leg is on top, so right arm comes underneath, maybe collect opposite shoulders. Maybe you want to take a bound arm as well, so your backs of your hands and forearms can come up to top, or they hook around. Draw the rib cage, breathe in, sit a little bit lower. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see me here too. Breathing in, breathing out. Now maybe what you really want is to round and squeeze this shape in. Inhaling here, exhaling it out. One more time, breathing in. Now, arguably the hardest part is coming out of this. Press into that left leg. Bring yourself all the way up. Release. And give yourself a good squeeze, 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 squeeze. Shake, 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 shake. Coming onto our other side. So pressing right foot into the floor this time. Here we go. Rolling up to those left toes. Lift the left knee up to the chest. Bend into the right knee. Slide the left thigh over the right. Maybe the left ankle doesn't want to hook. Maybe it's happy just sort of resting. Sitting into those legs, drawing the rib cage in. Now, left thigh is on top of the right thigh. So if you would like to add your arms, those arms are going to reach out. Left thigh is going to go underneath. Maybe your hands connect to your tops of shoulders. Maybe backs of palms. Maybe they wrap. Sitting low, breathing in. Now remember, I just did a really good example, that hip swivel thing we did on the mat. So we're trying to level out through that pelvis as much as we can. And if it feels reasonable to round in and draw everything in towards center, feel free to go there too. Breathing in, breathing out. One more time, breathing in, breathing it out. Now the hardest part is getting out. Press that right foot to the floor. Bring yourself up. Release arms and legs. Whew. And give yourself a little shake off. Plant those feet to the floor. Inhale, sweep those arms up overhead. As you breathe out, push it away. Inhale, reach up overhead, collect your energy. Push that energy away. 2 more, inhale it up. Exhale away. 1 more time, inhale up. Exhale away. Pause over those legs. Inhale to come up halfway. Last flow if you'd like to take it. Placing those hands on the floor. Stepping back into your plank. Taking a breath in to get nice and long, maybe knees to the floor. As you breathe out, gently drawing your chest down. Flip your toes. Inhale, lengthen your chest out and up. Exhale to melt it down. Okay, last little bit of business. Stay low. Inhale, chest is going to lengthen up, but keep scooping towards that pubic bone, yeah? We're going to lift those hands to hover, just like we did before. You're going to bring them forward ever so slightly, so that they're sort of out beside you, like a trident. Can you keep your forearms and fingertips lifted, but place just your elbows on the floor? So they're on a bit of a slope here. You're going to start to rotate those palms in towards each other, and then continue trying to rotate the forearms and palms up. And as you do so, slide the shoulder blades on the back. Keep that activity, hold that tension, breathe in. And I'm hoping this channels right into your mid-back. Breathe out. Inhaling to be long. Exhaling it out. 3 more. Inhaling here. Exhaling out. 1 more time. Breathe in. That's not true. This is your last time. Breathe in. Breathe it out. Now you're going to keep all of that energy. Take your hands, sweep your hands towards your hips so you're long like a dart in space. Keep squeezing the shoulder blades on the back. Keep scooping through that low belly, firing through those glutes and those thighs, along through your spine. Take one more breath in, and as you breathe out, melt to the floor. We're going to take the hands up to the shoulders and gently push and wiggle and slide yourself back into, maybe let's take a nice wide knee child's pose here. Inhaling in. Exhaling out. Reaching those hands forward. Big stretch in space. Walking your hands over to the right. Now, if you're not happy being on your stomach, you can always flip onto your back and take those knees over to the right. Big breath in here. Breath out. Walking those hands through center to the left. Drawing the hips back. Inhaling in and exhaling it out. Walking your hands forward, bringing yourself upright. Let's swing those legs around. Letting your legs go nice and long, reaching those arms forward. And then as we breathe out, scoop and roll our spines all the way to the floor, all the way down. Just going to wiggle forward a little bit so you can see me. Let's plant those feet on the floor. Let's take those arms, reach them up towards the ceiling. Feeling your feet planted, parallel hip distance. Let your low back have a little release here. Breathe it in. As you breathe out, scooping through that low belly, pressing your feet into the floor, lifting your hips out as your knees reach forward. Take a breath in here. As we breathe out from the sternum, scooping and rolling yourself to the floor. Releasing here, breathe in. As you breathe out, up and forward. Inhaling at the top. And then breathe it out. Massage those vertebrae to the ground. One more time. Really just taking this as a moment for a really delicious spine massage. Although, of course, you're going to get your glutes and hamstrings here. Pausing at the top, take those arms, reach them back overhead, let the backs of the palms find the floor, and feel like you're having a big tug of war through the front of the thighs and the backs of the arms, so they're trying to draw away from each other. And then keep that tug of war happening as you gently massage your spine all the way to the floor. Collect those knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a little massage side to side across that low back. Let's go for a gentle twist, letting those legs melt over to the right. Maybe your left arm comes up. Just sort of settling our body down into the earth. Taking a moment here to recognize that this earth is ancient and has indigenous folk who are its keepers. And that if you are not indigenous to this land, that we should show up with honor and respect to the land and the people. Bringing those legs back up to center. Maybe a little wiggle side to side. And then over to the left. Right arm up and back. Maybe turning the gaze. So good. When we're ready, bringing ourselves upright. Collect those knees into your chest. Curl yourself up into a tight, 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 tight ball. And exhale to release it long. Starting to set yourself up for your Shavasana. So my favorite way, super quick and easy to make yourself cozy here. A blanket behind my head. A pillow underneath my knees. And maybe a blanket on top. Depending how toasty your room is, how toasty your space is. Taking a few breaths to start to settle here. Inhaling. Exhale it out. And if there's any extra little bits of movement your body is craving, please feel free to do them. Otherwise, settling your energy in for your Shavasana. Letting your breath be organic as it travels through your body. not forcing anything or gripping through anything, but rather letting it exist and flow. And you'll notice that I like to keep it pretty quiet for Shavasana time as well. And that's really so that the nervous system has an opportunity to settle down. If you would feel most comfortable with sound, feel free to pop it on, but know that I'm also going to bring myself upright and play some chimes. I also have a passage to share today, and it's a passage I've shared before in a flow and restore. But it's just resonating with me so much these days that it's nice to hear it again. Take a nice big breath in as you are, and exhale to breathe it out. Excuse me. You are far from simple. You are a little universe. You are the wet and pulsing distillation of stars, a house of light made bipedal and carbon-based, temporary and infinite. You are also the void. Cartographers used to write on maps, "Here be dragons," when they reached places beyond their known world. When humans touch the void, they say, "Here is magic." If you are super happy as you are, please feel free to stay there. If your intention is to close practice together today, start to consider deepening your breath, coming back to your body. Consider maybe wiggling fingers and toes, maybe a yawn. And when you're ready, with as little fuss as possible, rolling onto your favorite side. Taking a moment of pause there to honor how much our bodies do for us. Often without any sort of recognition, often automatic systems that thrive and keep us going without ever maybe sometimes receiving an acknowledgement. When you're ready, gently bringing yourself upright, maybe keeping eyes closed. Maybe they're open but dimmed down. So the passage I read for us was from the second book in a series. It's called Trickster Drift by Eden Robinson. It's a Canadian Indigenous read. I super recommend it. And so the last line of that passage reads, "When humans touch the void, they say, 'Here is magic.'" And to me, that feels like when we say the word void, it means unknown. And so as humans, when we find or we arrive at something unknown, to say, there's magic here, seems like an incredibly powerful frame of thought. And so as we're closing this practice together today, I invite you, as you go about your day, and maybe there's lots of little baby bits of a void that arrive in front of you. And so in conjunction with feeling however you want to feel, maybe also adding into that feeling pile the experience of, here is magic. Placing one hand around your heart or heart center, second hand over that, gently bowing in. It feels like an insane universal magic that I get to be here with you today. It is a great honor and privilege that you've trusted me with blueprinting your practice today. May you continue your day with this twinkling of magic in your thoughts, in your speech, and in your heart. Thank you so much for being here. I hope we meet again soon. Thank you, thank you, thank you.